Oh boy. All right. Just getting back from Martinsville. Hard to judge what the TV product was, but I thought it was actually a pretty decent race. We got a good finish at the end at various points. Joey Logano with the two-tire deal. So that was definitely very interesting as well. And then the Hendrick guys up there battling each other. I thought that was a good battle too, but I don't know exactly what the TV showed. But after the second stage, I thought it was pretty interesting. Even at the end of the first stage, Bubba Wallace going up there and challenging Kyle Larson for the stage one win. So even at the end of that stage, we had a little bit of action too. But aside from the front of the pack, the back of the pack was just kind of it was really hard to pass, especially after the tires got warmed up and stuff like that. So yeah, just hard to say, if it was a good race on TV, but I enjoyed it at the racetrack like I normally did. But yeah, while we're at it, let's just run through the finishing order. William Byron, good race for him, of course. I do believe that is his, second or third win on the season. Hold on, let me check this real quick here. Third win on the season for sure. How could you forget the Daytona 500? So yeah, third win on the season for William Byron. So that is a good race for him. And then Kyle Larson had a good race, won that first stage, so got maximum points. Chase Elliott, I think they really needed this run because once again, some of the Chase Elliott fans were getting on the we need to fire Alan Gustafson bandwagon, which I don't understand. Bubba Wallace, I think one day Bubba Wallace is going to win one of these Martinsville races. He is really good there. Halfway through the second stage, I thought this was going to be his day, but it wasn't meant to be for Bubba Wallace or Toyota or Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin had a really good car. I see he's not in the top five here. He didn't recover after that late race pit stop. He was one of a very few to get tires. I want to say it was all Toyotas that got tires there, but anyway, Ryan Blaney ends up fifth. Won the race last year in the fall, ends up fifth here today. Joey Logano, his teammate, who made it work with two tires for a very long time, ends up with a nice sixth place finish. Back-to-back top tens for Joey Logano. He definitely needed that. That's really going to help his season, which I'm going to get to the points in a minute here. But yeah, Tyler Reddick in seventh place, good run for him. Alex Bowman, good run for him. He wasn't able to do the 1, 2, 3, 4 with his teammates, but a nice solid run for Alex Bowman. Ryan Preece with a ninth place finish, good on him. Good on Stewart Haas Racing because his teammate with another top 10 right behind him here in Chase Briscoe. I'm telling you, man, those blue ovals are getting faster and faster. They're slowly starting to figure it out over there at Ford. So you might want to look out for them the second half of the season. And I don't know if Chevrolet is ever going to change their body style. They might just call the Camaro something different and shape whatever the next car is going to be exactly like this Camaro, because that Camaro is still very, very fast. Let's see here. Denny Hamlin ends up in 11th place, so the tires got him back to 11th place. Eric Jones with a nice 12th place finish there. He needed that for sure. Todd Gilliland with a 13th place. Ross Chastain got the lucky dog there at the end. He ends up in 14th place. Chris Buescher had a head-to-head with him against Ty Gibbs, so Chris Buescher won there. So good on Chris Buescher. Thank you for getting me paid. Kyle Busch with a 16th place finish. He got off on one of those. His setup got off a little bit on one of those. He was running 24th for a good portion of this race. So getting that 16th right there, way to rally for the RCR gang. Carson Hocevar, he's given Ross Chastain a run for his money, his hardest car to pass on the track. And before the bad luck of John Hunter Nemechek was giving him a run for their money, his hardest car to pass too. He got yeeted several times by lead lap cars. All right, let's jump into the points real quick, and then I will jump into the comments. If any, I don't know, when I first came on, nobody was even on. Is anybody on yet? Oh yeah, we got some people. So I'll jump into the comments here right after we get into the points. Kyle Larson takes the points lead over Martin Truex Jr. He's got it by 14 points, according to J-Ski. Denny Hamlin is in third at minus 17. William Byron minus 48 in fourth. Ryan Blaney is tied with William Byron, but I guess the tiebreaker is the wins at minus 48 as well. Chase Elliott minus 51. Ty Gibbs minus 55. Then we've got Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, and Alex Bowman as your top 10 there. And then I guess go to 16th here for who's locked in if the playoffs started today. Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Chase Briscoe are locked in. And your first two outside looking in are going to be Daniel Suarez and Brad Keselowski as it stands right now. And then 19th through 21 is John Hunter Nemechek, Eric Jones, and Austin Cindric. So there you go. There is your points readout and your Rookie of the Year battle right now, Josh Berry is ahead of Carson Hocevar, Kaz Grala, and Zane Smith right there in 4th place as far as the rookie battle goes. Not a lot of points separating them, though. Not going to do that math because it is live, and I don't want to mess it up live. Let's see. All right, jumping in. What's up, NASCAR fan? Good to see you on here. BB, did you like the Hendrick Ruby Red cars? I thought they came out pretty good. For what it was, I thought it was a pretty cool deal. I only vote no because it seemed like they were calling it from a monitor. They never beat the camera to the call, and apparently there was a wreck on the last lap we never saw, says I say Kyle. So once again, Fox with the camera work, right? Fox has really got to work on that camera work. How appropriate Hendrick Motorsports is the first organization to score the first ever 1-2-3 at Martinsville, considering all their success at said track. Yeah, I think they said they've won at that track 27 times, so this would be their 28th win, and they get a 1-2-3 in their 28th win. BB, what happened to David Starr? I thought he was going to win today. He couldn't get it done on Earth 2. He couldn't get it done on Earth 1. He might have got it done on Earth 2, to be honest. Let me go back here and see who actually finished last here. It was David Starr. Earth 2, David Starr got it done. So I don't know. He did his job on Earth 2, so I can't complain there at all. Timber Ace, what's up, my friend? Could a good car make passes on the outside today like last fall, or was it harder to pass on the outside? So Chase Elliott made the outside work against Denny Hamlin, which at that point in the race were the 2 fastest cars. So the outside did work. It was still just really hard to pass. I think maybe a little bit more tire fall off would have probably helped, but it's hard to say. Like I said, watching it, the battle for the lead was really good. But as you got further back in the pack, it seemed like it was really, really hard to pass. But I will say this, the hitting somebody with your bumper is finally working now. So whatever they have done to the cars, they're not so locked into the track now that when somebody gets hit with their bumper, they can't get moved. Because I did see John Hunter Nemechek was multiple laps down at one point, and he was holding up sort of the Hendrick brigade. And when Kyle Larson got to him after Chase Elliott passed him very cleanly, when Kyle Larson got to him, Kyle Larson just yeeted him out of the way because he was holding everybody up. So hitting people in the bumper works again at Martinsville. So that was good to see. I enjoy the Hendrick cars win, but man, the short track package absolutely sucks, says Joseph Wooten. So yeah, not necessarily a lot of passing throughout the field that I was watching. Let's see, but the battles for the lead I feel like were pretty good and kind of made up for it for me. But it's I'll have to rewatch it on TV to see what the TV product looked like. Todd Gilliland ran good today too. Yeah, Todd Gilliland did a great job for sure. 2311 Racing sandwich Team Penske, excluding Hendrick, while being sandwiched between all 4 Hendrick Motorsports cars in the top 8, says NASCAR fan. I feel bad for KFB, been garbage lately. He got that 16th place finish, though. I mean, he rallied. Look, RCR is a little bit off on the short track package, but they've been really good on everything else. And when they get the short track package figured out, I think they're going to be a team to reckon with. I'll put it to you that way. Watching WrestleMania, I'll be back in a few. WrestleMania is on tonight, so I'm competing against WrestleMania and probably losing badly. KFB has been garbage on short tracks in the Gen 7. RCR is a dinosaur fossil. They need a major restructure. I'm going to disagree with that. I think they're really good at mile and a halves. They're always good at super speedways. I can't recall a season they've ever been bad at super speedways. They're just off on the short tracks, and they were good, really good with Tyler Reddick on the road courses. So they've got a good road course, or at one time had a good road course package as well. It's just the short tracks they're a little bit off on. And Kyle Busch started 11th today. He had good speed at one point. Like I said, they made I don't know which way they went with the adjustment, but it looked like his car kind of fell off after that. And the other thing was, as the temperature changed, a lot of cars changed as well. I feel like when the temperature started getting colder and colder, Denny Hamlin's car fell off. That might have been an issue with Kyle Busch's too, because at one point he was running in the top 10 or 11 right there. And then all of a sudden I looked at the racing scoring pylon. He was back to like 24th, and he hovered around 24th for a very long time. Put up a fierce battle to stay on the lead lap, and it ended up kind of working out for him there. He ends up with that. I guess he got a wave around there at the end, ends up in 16th place. But by the end of the race, they got his car back working properly. So, yeah, they're a little bit off on the short track package. But other than that, I think RCR is actually pretty good everywhere else. Without Hendrick storyline, maybe some of the main thing that has hurt Kyle Busch this year, some of his pit stop stuff, his early in the season, the pit work was either he overshot the pits or they had problems in the pits, so the pits were an issue early on. So let's see, a Napa Racing fan, the hot dogs. I actually did not eat a single hot dog today. I just wasn't feeling it, and I'll leave that story for another day. Without Hendrick, the storyline was a boring race, says Kevin S. William Byron wins the Orlando Magic on the number 3 seed in the East. A good day to be me, says Say Kyle. Yeah, as soon as he crossed the start-finish line, you were actually the first person I thought about. I was like, I know you're going to be stoked. So the real question is, are you going to get that diecast, and is it just going to be the race win version, or are you going to get the regular diecast? I don't feel like it's a question of if, it's which one. RCR has become the new Petty Motorsports, outdated, says Shah. I already addressed that, so we agree to disagree on that one. But there's certainly people that think that. I think they're just off on the short tracks. Everybody talking about horsepower and shifting, but aren't track temps also a factor? Swap this date with Nashville for maximum slippage, says Timber Race. Yeah, once it cooled down, temperature always plays into it. Once it cooled down, it looked like some cars woke up and some cars did not. It was supposed to be the original forecast when I was driving up this morning. It was supposed to be much colder than it actually was today. So some of the setups probably were off because of that. Robert Key saying Clint Boyer is the clown. Did you have fun today? I had a pretty good time at the race. I met a bunch of people, man. That was really cool to meet all the people I met today. I met somebody from Ontario, Canada. He was parked sort of like right beside me. So it was really cool to meet him. Good to see them. Glad they came out and enjoyed it. Met a couple guys from RCR that said they actually watched the show. So that was really cool, man. I'm pretty stoked about that. I never in the whole wide world thought that would ever happen, but that's definitely really cool. Good to meet them. I didn't get a chance to talk to my buddy at the Hendrick hauler, but I saw him up there with his white glasses. He was super busy all day, so I didn't get a chance to talk to you. So I apologize about that. And I met several other people. Had a good long conversation with I can't call his name off the top of my head. I talked to him for a long time. He had a Ross Chastain hat on. I talked to him for a right good while, and a lot of. Let me stop right there because I'm going to forget somebody. But everybody I met today was really super nice, and it was really great to meet everybody that I met. Let's see. Only fitting that Hendrick got their 29th win at Martinsville on Harvick's TV debut there. BB, are the Martinsville hot dogs the best ever or overhyped, says OJ and Toothpaste. So let me be careful how I say this. The hot dogs are good. It's hard to make a bad hot dog. You can't really screw up a hot dog, right? But I do believe they're overhyped. And remember, this is my 100th time going to Martinsville, but I do think they overhype them. But that being said, how often are you going to go to Martinsville? If you're from the South, you've had a Jesse James hot dog before, or a Jesse Jones hot dog before. Jesse Jones hot dog before. So I don't know. It's a different thing. I guess if you're not used to the red hot dog, the extra saltiness of it, they are good. I don't want it to be made out the sound that I'm saying the hot dogs are bad. The hot dogs are good, but I don't know if anything can live up to the hype that those hot dogs get. So I think it's just too much hype. It's like a movie that's really good, but they overhype it. So when you go watch the movie, you're like, that was just all right. Like, because they overhyped it. If they hadn't overhyped it, you'd be like, oh, this is pretty good. I feel like that's where I'm at with the Martinsville hot dog. Howdy from the Great White North. What's up, Robin Marks? What's up, Canada? How long before the conspiracy theorists were the ones? Oh, they were talking about that before the race even started, Robin Marks. So they didn't even have to wait for it. Jeff Bodine saved them back in 1984. For sure. Old Modified Man. He was there today at the racetrack. He gave him and Jeff Gordon were given an interview together in the pre-race on the big screen up there. Justin Alexander can't save Austin Dillon. In the 3-car, at least this week, says Napa Race fan. Well, I mean, he's had 1 week so far. Let's let him at least get back into the groove before we judge Justin Alexander on just one race. David McSwain, good evening. Typical flat track. It was good at the track. Was it good at the track? I enjoyed it at the track. I thought the battles for the lead were really good. As soon as Chase Elliott took the lead the first time on Denny Hamlin, you could hear the crowd just erupt, and I thought that was a pretty good deal. BB, how was your seat in Martinsville today? Did anyone recognize you and say what's up? I had a few people come and say what's up, so that was pretty cool. I had a great seat. I did get some footage. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it, so we'll have to figure it out. I would take the RCR performance today with a grain of salt. Apparently, Austin Dillon had no power steering. I was wondering what was up with him, man, because his car looked terrible. It looked like something was broken. Like he was back there running with for a long time. He was running with a 66, and the 66 was obviously The 66 obviously had something going on with it. KFB got lapped by Byron, but Elliott couldn't get by him. Yeah, whatever they did to Kyle Busch's car there at the end, he was able to stay in front of Byron for a really, really long time. And I think he got the wave around at the end, and so he was on the lead lap. So whatever they did to Kyle Busch's car at the end, it worked. BB, what's better, Red Bull or every drink, Red Bull every drink or Monster? I'm kind of a Red Bull fan personally, but Monster, pretty much everybody I worked with in construction, it went from like Mountain Dew and a honey bun for breakfast to a Monster Energy and a honey bun. So Monster Energy is creeping into the Southern breakfast. Like New York, it's a cigarette and a coffee, a black coffee, right? That's the famous New York breakfast. Well, in the South, the famous breakfast it used to be like a Mountain Dew and a honey bun, or a Mountain Dew and a cigarette, depending on who you were working with that day. Now it's a Monster Energy and either a honey bun or whatever. I can't say that other word. I shouldn't have said it the first time. Let's see. What's up, Mike G? Good to see you on here. BB, what are your thoughts on the Xfinity race? I didn't get to see any of it. I was at Orange County, and I didn't get back in time to see the very end of it. I just saw when I got to it, they were interviewing Sam Mayer. So that's what part of it I came in on. So I didn't get to see any of it. And obviously I didn't get time to prep on it because I had to go to sleep to get up to Martinsville this morning. So I still haven't seen any of it. But I know Junior was happy with his cars and how they ran. He said it was a good run for him. I can't even remember who won right now off the top of my head. Was it Eric Almirola? Yeah, Eric Almirola won the race. He's really good at Martinsville. He's always been really good at Martinsville. You look at his career average finish at Martinsville in the Cup Series, it was almost, if I thought about him being in the race in Xfinity, that probably would have been as close to easy money as you're ever going to get in that deal. Eat any hot dogs at Martinsville today? I did not eat any hot dogs at Martinsville today. So it is what it is. In fact, I didn't eat anything until right before I got on camera, and that was McDonald's chicken nuggets, and that was what was left that was available to eat. So it is what it is. I got busy. I didn't even think about eating until I was walking out of the track, and I was like, I haven't eaten today, and I was like, oh God, such a dummy. BB, your early predictions on the Final Four at Phoenix for Cup and Xfinity. Well, right now you got to put William Byron in there. You definitely got to put Denny Hamlin in there. Kyle Larson is looking strong, and just flip a coin on whether it's going to be Joey Logano or Ryan Blaney for Ford, because I feel like they're looking strong on the Ford camp. So right now, just off the top of my head, not looking at anything, those would be the four that I have in. And who did I disrespect by leaving out? Martin Truex Jr., I disrespected him by leaving him out. He's second in points. Chase Elliott sixth in points. So and Ty Gibbs, I didn't even mention Ty Gibbs. He's had a heck of a sophomore season. Ross Chastain, 8th in points, Tyler Reddick, 9th in points, and Alex Bowman right now 10th in points. Alex Bowman, a sneaky 10th place in points. Always on the hot seat, Alex Bowman, just 10th in points, just out there doing his job. So as far as hot dogs go, Bright Leafs are hard to beat. So they used to sell Bright Leafs there, but people threw a fit because it had always been Jesse Jones. So they sold Bright Leafs for a few years and then went back to the Jesse Jones. Pretty much taste the exact same to me. But if you go to a Durham Bulls baseball game, if you're into minor league baseball and go to a Durham Bulls baseball game, they do have Bright Leaf hot dogs there. My wife and I call it star washing or something when it's built up so big it could never live up to expectations, coined by me going meh when I saw the first Star Wars at 27 years old. That's a very fair statement. I'm in the same boat. I didn't see Harry Potter and I didn't see Star Wars until I was those movies were way old by the time I saw them, any of them. And when I watched them, I was just like, okay. I mean, I was like, they're good, but like, and it's because people hyped them up so much. They are good movies, but they're not going to alter your life. Right now, people are doing the same thing with Dune. Dune is going to be an amazing movie franchise, but people are hyping it up like it is, it'll get you into heaven if you watch it. So I don't know. I don't know a better way to describe it. So people are hyping up Dune way too much. But yeah, that's how I feel about the Martinsville hot dog. They are very good. Let me be very clear about that. They're good hot dogs, but nothing can live up to the hype that they get behind them. So I just want to caution you, if you go there and get your first Martinsville hot dog and you're like, this is just okay, that's why you're going to say this is just okay. How about my boy Carson, says Baron Von Weebs? Yeah, so Carson Voppel did great in the Xfinity Series in his first start. And then Carson Hocevar, always doing a good job. I was actually having a good conversation with somebody about, I think Carson Hocevar, from what he's shown so far, I think Corey LaJoie is a really good driver, and we know Zane Smith is a really good driver. And the fact that Carson Hocevar consistently finishes several places in front of them in the exact same equipment, and I threw this extra thing in, so that right there shows you how good Carson Hocevar is. And I want to throw this extra thing in. If you saw Carson Hocevar live mic in that rain delay in the Truck Series or Xfinity Series last year, whatever it was, when he was walking around and the way he could just carry an audience with his personality, he has a chance to be an absolute megastar at this level. So if I'm Chevrolet, I don't care what I've got to do. I'm locking down Carson Hocevar for a very long period of time, because there's a potential he could be your next like huge superstar. I'm talking like Tim Richmond style, with the personality, with the wins, with just sort of the carefree manner. He's got a chance to be like a really, really big deal, I think. Quattro, what's up, man? Hope you're feeling better, my friend. Quattro, feeling a little down, so thoughts and prayers to him. Hopefully he feels better as soon as possible. Wondering, can Willie B finally put a full season together and get a cup? It's hard to say with this format, man. Like he's put full seasons together recently. Just this format is brutal. Like the playoffs are brutal. BB, what's the most recent diecast you bought? Oh, that's a good question. It probably would be like a 164, and I never remember which 164. I think I got the Kevin Harvick late model for the car store. I think that's the most recent one that I've got. Or maybe it might have been like a Daniel Suarez Princess Carnival Cruise Line or something like that. One of the two. Let's see. Come on, race fans, hit that like button. Yeah, so if you want to appreciate you there, Greg Brown. I never think about that. Yeah, if you want to hit the like button, it would be much appreciated. Yo, BB, love the coverage. Thanks, Mike Honcho. And once again, I want to remind you, I love that name. That is, of course, a reference from Talladega Nights. That was that was the how do we put this? That was the adult name. Of John C. Reilly's character from the magazine shoot he did in that movie. Who was the best broadcast crew? Fox, NBC, MRN, or PRN? MRN or PRN, like without question. Like it's impossible to beat the radio. To me, like that's just growing up. The radio, from Eli Gold to whoever, I've always thought the radio was just I don't know. And no disrespect to Fox or NBC, but I've always just been the radio. The way they carry it on radio is amazing. So I'll have to go with MRN or PRN. Just flip a coin, because I think they're both great. They both do a great job. Let's see. BB, what movie is better, Shrek 1 or Cars 1? I like Shrek 1 better than Cars 1. But that's just me. But by the time I'd seen Cars 1, once again, people actually overhyped it, so I didn't get a fair shake on the Cars 1 deal, to be totally honest. But Shrek to me is an all-timer. Shrek to me is just as much an adult movie as it is a kids movie. BB, Alex Bowman doing good this year, right? I think so. Alex Bowman does good every year, but they always scream about him being on the hot seat, so I don't understand. I think you missed it earlier. Wife said only big wins now. She saw the 40th and knew it would be offering a diecast. It will be race win, premium elite in liquid color, if liquid color is available. I like it. That's a good pick, and that is a fine move from your wife there. So I understand. So. A good honor. She understood how big and how significant this win was, no doubt. I'm one of the few. Never watched any Star Wars movie because of the hype, says David. I'll be honest with you, man. I can't even say the first three, but the ones that were made in the 70s and 80s, to me, have been the only good ones, other than Rogue One. And like I said, the way people hype them up, it'll never live up to that hype that people hype them up to. So. Like if you watch them, don't expect like a whole lot. It's not life altering. It wasn't for me. It is for some people. I shouldn't say that. It is life altering for some people. It was not life altering for me. I also DM'd you a shot of my diecast collection at the moment. Says, say, Kyle, oh, that's what's up, man. I'll go check it out here in a little bit. Mike G, Bologna Burger. Yeah, so I had the sweatshirt on, and a lot of people were just screaming Bologna Burger because they liked the sandwich. They didn't even know who I was. So I actually did get a bunch of people that screamed out Bologna Burger, and I was like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. It's like, we love Bologna Burger sandwiches. Like, oh, cool. Yeah, they are really good. So there were moments where I was like, okay, yeah, Bologna Burgers are good. And I did have to explain what a bologna burger was to a couple people, so that's always fun because then I get to tell them the best way to fix it. So that's pretty cool too. BB, your thoughts on Danica Patrick comments in the Truex Kenny conversation? I don't feel like they were as inflammatory as some people made them out to be. She just didn't like. She doesn't like being raced hard, and some people raced her hard. She would hate Ross Chastain. She would hate Ryan Newman. She probably mentioned Ryan Newman in there. I just remember Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex off the top of my head. But she probably would hate anybody that just raced her really close and really hard. And there are just some drivers that do that. And I don't think they were doing it just because it's Danica. I think you saw last race with Martin Truex Jr. He wasn't cutting Alex Bowman any slack. He gave Alex Bowman absolute heck to keep him a lap down there. So that's just at Richmond. That's just how Martin Truex Jr. races everybody. It wasn't like he was just doing that to Danica Patrick. So it is what it is. Maybe you just compared Hocevar to Tim Richmond, says Tim Brace. They remind me of each other quite a bit. Noah Gregson's another one. If Noah Gregson can get on a hot streak, he very much reminds me of Tim Richmond as well. They've just got these really big personalities, and they can go on these huge winning streaks. And when they get hot, it's hard to rival how good they drive at times. The 24 and the 48 car are good-looking hot rods, says David. Yeah, I actually liked all of the Hendrick cars, to be totally honest. I thought they all looked really good. Let's see. Has anyone said Denny sucks yet? I was worried he'd win today. I heard enough Denny stuff last week. I wonder if Byron is related to Lord Byron and such. I don't know, but Lord Byron is a good nickname for him. I have heard people say that before. Denny looked like he was about to get the job done, and that would have been, to me, that's just as good a content as anything. Denny going back to back, that would get people riled up. So, like I said, I'm not a Denny hater by any stretch of the imagination. So I think he's one of the best drivers out there. He rubs people the wrong way, though. I will say this: I was surprised. I don't know who got booed harder, Denny Hamlin or Ty Gibbs, and I didn't have that on my bingo card. I thought Ty Gibbs would get some boos, but I didn't have it on my bingo card that Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin would be the two guys. Well, I thought Denny Hamlin had a chance to get the most boos just because of last week. But Ty Gibbs rivaled Denny Hamlin on who got booed the most. And then a very distant second to those two were either Joey Logano or Bubba Wallace, depending on my section. It sounded about the same for those two. But it was nowhere near what Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin got. So as far as Martinsville goes, Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs are the least liked by far at that particular track. David Machaga, Mick. I'm just gonna go David here. I can't pronounce that last name. Apologies. Star Wars is mediocre. A lot of people feel like that. I only watch Star Wars because my wife. I'll tell you what I really like though, and I saw this before I ever saw Star Wars, was Spaceballs. I thought Spaceballs was an amazing movie, and I never even saw at the time when I watched Spaceballs. I'd never even seen Star Wars. I thought Spaceballs was good. I only watched Star Wars because my wife has a Star Wars sleeve tattoo, so I kind of had to. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Star Wars, it means a lot to a lot of people. It wasn't like that for me. Probably V for Vendetta, Fight Club, the Fast and the Furious franchise. Like, there's a lot of them, but those are the ones off the top of my head. Those are the movies that I'll really like. Whenever they come on, I'll watch them. Forrest Gump, Castaway, Shawshank Redemption. Like those type of movies are like I know none of those like really go together, but those are like the movies that whenever I see them on, I'll immediately stop. And like that's where the channel is staying. Who needs Star Wars? Watch Flash Gordon 1980, says Robin Marks. Flash, that's the only thing I remember from that. Danica will never get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to Truex because of how classless she was when Sherry passed. Yeah, that was so bad. I didn't even think about that when we were talking about it right there. But yeah, that was one of the worst things I think I've seen anybody say ever. Just to be totally honest, like that was, if you're gonna say it, but don't say it at that time. Like, and say it to his face. Like if you got something to say it to his face. You got his phone number, or you could get a hold of it. That was a really bad one. Let's see. BB, who will win Talladega coming up this year? What are your predictions? Says OJ and Toothpaste. Let's see. Ryan Blaney it's hard to pick against Ryan Blaney at Talladega. Uh, yeah, I'll go with Ryan Blaney at Talladega. Mike G said, yeah, that's cool. That's a cool sweater. I think it will be exciting to meet you at the racetrack, says Mike G. Yeah, I'll tell you what, every time I go to the racetrack, I'll let you guys know. I went to the tweet up with Bob Pockris, but I didn't film any of that. But that's the first time I'd ever been to the tweet up. There was a bunch of people there that I think people would have recognized. As much as you like the 24 car, I thought Larson had the best looking of the group. Then again, I absolutely love the Rick Hendrick livery. Yeah, it was. I thought they were all good. Just to be, I didn't see a bad one in the whole lot, and I really appreciate UniFirst or whatever Chase Elliott sponsor was, because their primary color is green, and for them to let them go all red. The other ones already had some red in them, and Ally just kind of they just like bright colors, so it was wasn't a stretch for them. But UniFirst, their main thing being green and then having a red car, that was really cool of them for sure. Let's see, BB, where did you get that hat? Pretty dope. So I got this whenever he ran the Jeff Bodine looking Hendrick throwback car, whatever Darlington race that was. It was on the merch hauler at Martinsville that year, and that's where this hat came from. A lot of people ask me that today, but that's where this hat came from. So it's maybe 2020, 2021, somewhere in there. Maybe 2020. Either 2021 or 2022. It's one or the other. Let's see. Who do you think will point their way into the playoffs? Should the regular season champion have a guaranteed spot in the playoffs? I mean, yeah, the regular season champion has, and I think the regular season champion is guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, period. So, yeah, for sure. I would like to see the regular season champion get locked into the round of 8. Me personally, that's just how I feel about it. I feel like the regular season should really mean something. So I don't know. I feel like you need a really big benefit for winning the regular season. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Who will point their way into the playoffs? Oh, that's a good question. Let me look at the standings right now. I think Brad Keselowski and Daniel Suarez will probably point their way in, and I'm still sticking with Eric Jones. I think Eric Jones is going to point his way in. Now, which one of these guys in front of them they knock out, go fish, because I don't know. It's going to be a hard task, because in front of them you have Chase Briscoe, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, and Tyler Reddick there in 9th, and it just gets stronger the higher up you go. So good luck, but I got a good feeling that Suarez is going to point, or Suarez will probably get a win. He'll get his win and win his way in there. I'm thinking. So we'll see though. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, he already got the win though, didn't he? Hold on. Let me look here. Yeah, Suarez. Yes, so Suarez right now is out of the top 16, but he's got the race win. I forgot he got the race win. Slipped my mind there. Yeah, so he's already in. So right now, Chase Briscoe technically would be out, and Suarez would be in via that race win. So right now, Chase Briscoe, the first one on the outside looking in. I forgot Suarez had won there for a minute. Let's see. Did Willie B ever run short tracks? Yeah, so he ran short tracks for Lee Pulliam, I want to say. I think he ran for Lee Pulliam when he was running late model. So he's run quite a few short tracks. Yeah, I think it was Lee Pulliam. So I think he ran for Lee Pulliam. Let's see. Martinsville is dead with this car. Less horsepower, no tire wear. Logano with 2 tires shouldn't have been able to stay first for nearly the entire second stage. I feel like that's a fair statement. That's what I'm saying. We got to figure something out. We got to find a happy medium with either the tire fall off or making the tire skinnier, one or the other. I got to figure out something here. Byron runs New Smyrna all the time when they're in Daytona, says Kyle. Yeah, he still runs it. I think they were talking about when he was coming up. When he was coming up, he went through Lee Pulliam, and I don't know who he raced super late models for. Not exactly sure what that deal was. BB, what's better? I think Wendy's has the better menu, but it's hard to beat a Whopper from time to time. Let's see. BB, did you like that hot honey sauce, or is it overhyped? I like sweet and spicy sauces, so I do think. I don't know exactly which one you're talking about, but I think honey hot sauce is actually really good. I wish I knew how to make it myself. Imagine Hamlin wins at Texas on an SMI track next Sunday. after the Sonoma feud with Smith. They're cool now. So like that's the main thing. They both apologized. And I want to point that out that they both apologized, because there were some Denny Hamlin fans that were like, you're just picking on Denny Hamlin. I was like, you think I'm picking on Denny Hamlin after I literally defended him like all week on his restart? I was like, those other guys were laying back, and that's why he took off early, because they were playing games behind him. So I like literally defend Denny Hamlin all week. And then people are like, you're picking on Denny Hamlin because you said he shouldn't have said that to Marcus Smith. I was like, yeah, he shouldn't have said that to Marcus Smith. And you know what? Denny Hamlin agreed with me because he apologized and Marcus Smith apologized, and now they're both good with each other. So it's so insane how people take what I say on this channel from time to time. I shouldn't have been surprised by that, but I was surprised by that. I was like, you really think I hate Denny Hamlin after I was like one of the very few people that was like, Denny Hamlin didn't do anything wrong because they were laying too far back on the restart to begin with. It's funny sometimes. It's funny sometimes. Imagine Hamlin wins. I had one guy accuse me of being a part of the Pentaveret, where I meet in an underground lair with secret people and determine the outcome of politics. Because I talk about politics all the time on this channel. Imagine Hamlin wins at Texas and SMI track next Sunday after the Sonoma feud with Smith. That would be a crazy thing to happen. Regular season is locked into the playoffs if they haven't won. I wouldn't want to see round of 8, but I wouldn't mind locked into the round of 12. Yeah, so maybe lock it into the round of 12. It's got to mean something more than just like an extra few points in the playoffs. That's just I don't know. Winning the regular season should be a really big deal. BB, who will win the Cup championship this year? Early predictions. I say Willie B. It's so early, man. I have no idea. Really, really no idea. I would say probably a Toyota. Like I'm just guessing a Toyota this year. Let's see. What's up, Mr. Pearson? Good to see you on here, my friend. BB, if NASCAR won't go back to the Clash at the Coliseum, what will they do for the Clash? That's a good question. Maybe Rockingham? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just throwing it out there. You technically pronounced it correct, but if you want me to sound like a local guy, New Smyrna. Yeah, New Smyrna. I've heard some people say it that way too. BB, where should we go? Where should we do a member or a sub meetup? Would be so dope to meet you and the subs on here. Says OJ and Tugas. Yeah, we're trying in the Discord server. If you want to join the Discord at some point, we're trying to organize the most popular. We're going to put out like a survey, and we're going to figure out the race that the most people can attend. And once we figure out what race that's going to be, we'll go there all as a group and meet up and all that. But we got to figure out the racetrack first. So we'll figure that out, and then we'll have like a big meetup, and it'll be a good time. So yeah. So who's the favorite for Texas? Says Rick Lane. Off the top of my head, I want to say Kyle Larson. He's pretty good there. But let me pull it up by track here. Texas. Oh no, it is a Hendrick driver, but it is not Kyle Larson. It is Fast Willie B. So William Byron in the last 3 races at Texas has an average finish of 3.3. So I'm going to say he's a strong favorite to possibly go back-to-back here. Brad Keselowski's got the next best average finish at 6.3. And Denny Hamlin is third there with 8.7. Daniel Suarez and Chase Briscoe with an average finish of 10.0, along with Kevin Harvick, who is not in the race, but of course Josh Berry is in that car. Then Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Matty D with one race is 9th, but we'll bump him and put Kyle Larson in 9th, and Christopher Bell will be in 10th. Bell and Larson tied at 13.7. So there you go. There's your top 10. And who are the previous winners here in the last 3? Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, and William Byron. So there you go. The smart money is on Young Money or Big Hat Billiam or Tyler Reddick. What's Tyler Reddick's? The Nasty Beast, Tyler Reddick. We gotta find a nickname for Tyler Reddick here. BB, will Austin Dillon retire soon? Says OJ and Toothpaste. I don't think Austin Dillon's gonna retire soon. Let the whole season play out. Austin Dillon, I think, has made the playoffs 6 times since he's been in Cup, so he can get the job done. They just got to figure it out over there. I'm here to lobby for a BD and Friends group cruise, says Say Kyle. Hey, I've never been on a cruise, so let me I'll have to go get my passport, but I'd be down for that too. That might be an off-season activity because I've spoke to you as to where I want to go, possibly in the off season. So that would probably be very close to where you're at. Let's see, BB, your thought, and I don't think I'd have to twist a lot of arms to get people to go on that one. BB, your thoughts on Kevin LePage pulling out in front of the field on the Nationwide Series in 2008? Got to do what you got to do. That was so stupid, man. Like Kevin LePage, for poor guy, that's going to be what he gets remembered for the rest of all time. So it is what it is. BB, Greg Biffle versus Kevin Harvick, Bristol. Do you remember that? I don't remember Bristol. Was it at Bristol? I thought they got into it at Richmond. Or was that Ricky Rudd? That was Ricky Rudd and Kevin Harvick at Richmond. So Bristol was Greg Biffle. Was that when Harvick jumped across the truck or something? He ran on the back of the truck and jumped down. Was that? And he grabbed him by the collar. I think that was Bristol. And then he got suspended for one race. Is the six average Texas finish career or the last 3 years? Last 3 years. It's just the last 3 races there. Say Kyle. Laughing my butt off. Kevin LePage says OJ and toothpaste. No passport is needed. My guy says Say Kyle. Okay, so there you go. I can't defect and be the Caribbean bologna burger. Let's see. BB Joey Logano versus Denny Hamlin Auto Club 2013. Was that when Hamlin got his back messed up? Am I remembering the correct one? Because Hamlin said he's not going to do anything, and then Joey Logano did something. That was bad. That was bad. That's why we have safer barriers on the inside and the outside now. That was they still play without the context of it. I see the clip all the time of Denny Hamlin basically saying or challenging him to do something about it, and then Joey Logano turns around and does something about it. So that forever, that a broken back, just imagine how bad that could have actually been. So it is what it is. Glad Denny Hamlin was okay after that. Let's see. Let's see. Where would the 15 and the 51 finish best? Kaz Grala is a really good road course racer, Sir Woodster. So Kaz Grala on a road course, if they can give him any type of setup, he could be pretty sporty there. If you remember when he filled in for Austin, he got a 7th place at the Charlotte Roval. So maybe if Rick Ware Racing spends a lot of money